This is for the Module 4 discussion initial post, and it asks us to describe two specific examples of how the Santa Fe and Harvey Company leaflet employs aesthetic conventions that we have talked about, as well as how it depicts the class status of Indigenous people. So the two specific examples in the leaflet that I want to discuss, the first one is how the leaflet describes the Indians specifically as being primitive, and that does employ the aesthetic convention of primitivism, not only by calling them primitive, but it goes on to describe how they practice their ceremonies and dances in arts that they have done for hundreds of years from their ancestors, which shows how they have not evolved or improved. And then it also, the other way that it describes a primitive convention is it calls their way of life crude in that they cling to it. And then it goes on to say how they make blankets and baskets, and that shows how they make their money and a living. But it also describes how they have not, or it specifically says that they use the same crude loom that they've used for years, hundreds of years, and that also shows the primitive convention. And then it describes their social class as being lower, mainly because it doesn't talk about them being able to be in contact with the white people, which would denies access to certain communication. And it also describes how, their way of living is by making these blankets and baskets and working in the fields, which gives you the idea and shows that they are of working class, which is associated with a lower class status.